Hello, dreamer. Tonight's dream was built just for you. First, a short intro with a few gentle instructions to help you fall asleep and remember your dreams. If you know it already, skip ahead.
Hello, dreamer. Before our journey begins, remember one thing. Dreams are more than simple nighttime fantasies. Here, you can be anything, feel anything, experience anything you wish. But every experience asks for a small price. Your attention, your emotion, your intention. Give them to me, and the dream will answer. If you truly want to remember and feel what you experience in this world, then listen closely now. When you wake up tomorrow morning, stay still. Keep your eyes closed and replay the dream once more. Every image, every sound, every feeling. Then hold on to it. Whisper it into a voice note or write down a few quiet lines before the day gently pulls it away from you. This is how your dreams begin to remember you too. And if this world speaks to you, if you want to go deeper, further, into a place that can hold everything, then follow, like, and comment below. Tell me where you are, when you are listening, and which dreams have come to visit you. And if you are not yet sure how to reach this level, just stay close. I will guide you, step by step. Before we begin, dreamer, make sure your phone can rest as well. Place it where you can hear it in the morning, but far enough away that it will not tempt you tonight. Let it charge quietly and peacefully. Set the volume to a soft, perfect level. Loud enough for my voice, gentle against everything else. Turn on Do Not Disturb, but keep your alarm ready for the morning. Give yourself 5 extra minutes before you truly wake up. Those minutes are valuable, very valuable. When the alarm calls, stay calm. Call your dream back. See what your mind has created before it slowly fades away. And now, find your most comfortable position. Take a deep breath in and let your body sink into the bed. The world can wait. This moment belongs to you. Close your eyes and let the dream begin.
Welcome, dreamer. The world can wait. This moment belongs to you. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and let every thought drift a little farther away. There is nowhere you need to be, and nothing you need to do. Tonight, you're about to step into a world where anything is possible. Simply listen, relax, and let your dreams guide the way. You are standing at the edge of a field, and the grass beneath you is not quite green. It shifts, gently, between green and the softest blue, and a warm amber gold, with every small movement of the breeze, as if the whole field is breathing in slow, shifting colour. You do not remember arriving here. That is all right. Some dreams begin exactly where the ordinary world quietly ends, without asking you to notice the exact moment of crossing over. You look down at your own hand. It looks like your hand. It feels like your hand, but when you move your fingers, tiny trails of soft light follow them through the air for just a moment, like slow, gentle sparklers, before fading quietly away. You smile, oh wow, you think, rather than anything else, because that is exactly the feeling of this place. Not strange in a way that unsettles you, strange in a way that delights you, the way a magic trick delights a child who has not yet learned to expect the ordinary. You take a step forward, the colour-shifting grass parts gently around your feet, and where you step, tiny circles of soft light bloom outward, like ripples in a very calm, very patient pond. Ahead of you, the field rises into a low, rolling hill, and at its top, something is growing that should not, by any ordinary rule, be able to grow. A tree, tall and slender, its trunk a deep, warm violet, and instead of leaves, its branches are hung with small, glowing bells, each one a different soft colour, chiming faintly whenever the breeze moves through them. You walk toward it. The chiming grows clearer as you climb the gentle slope. Not a single melody, but many small overlapping ones, each bell adding its own soft note to something that never quite repeats itself and never needs to. You reach the top of the hill. The bell tree stands before you, taller up close than it seemed from below, its violet bark warm beneath your palm when you rest your hand against it. One of the low branches dips gently toward you, as if offering itself, and you reach up and touch one of the small glowing bells. It does not ring the way you expect. Instead, for just a moment, you taste something warm and sweet, like honey caught in sunlight, though nothing has touched your tongue at all. Oh, you think again, delighted. Here, it seems sound and taste and colour are not so separate as they once were. Here, a bell can taste like honey, and grass can hum with colour, and nothing about that needs explaining. Beyond the hill, you notice something else. A path, though calling it a path feels almost too ordinary a word. It is made of small, flat stones, each one glowing faintly from within, arranged in a gentle curve that seems to invite your feet rather than simply lead them. You step onto the first stone. It glows a little brighter beneath your foot, warm gold, and when you lift your foot again, it settles back into its own soft, patient light, waiting for the next traveller who might happen along. You follow the path down the far side of the hill. The bell tree's chiming grows softer behind you, folding gently into the general hush of this strange, gentle world. And ahead, the glowing stones wind between low, rolling shapes that might be more hills, or might be something else entirely, shifting slightly whenever you are not looking directly at them. A small creature crosses the path ahead of you. It is shaped something like a rabbit, and something like a cloud, soft and rounded and faintly translucent, its fur catching the light in slow, shifting pastels. It pauses, looks at you with wide, curious eyes, and then, apparently satisfied, bounces onward into the grass, leaving behind a faint trail of tiny floating bubbles that drift upward and pop into small puffs of soft colour. You laugh, quietly, delighted. Nothing here has asked you to understand it. It has only asked you to notice it, and be glad the glowing path continues on, curving between the shifting hills, and you follow it, unhurried, letting this whole soft, impossible field reveal itself to you one gentle surprise at a time. Ahead, the path begins to slope downward, and you can see, in the shallow valley below, something new waiting for you. A soft glow, different from the stones, rising and falling in slow, steady pulses, like something enormous, somewhere close. Gently breathing, further along the valley floor, you notice small clusters of mushrooms glowing gently among the roots of the colour-shifting grass. Each cap a soft, different pastel, pulsing very slowly, like tiny, patient lanterns set low along your path. You crouch beside one, and it brightens slightly at your attention, its soft light warming from pale blue to a gentle rose. You laugh quietly, delighted, and move your hand slowly above a small row of them, watching each one brighten in turn as your shadow passes, like playing a very slow, very gentle instrument made entirely of light. You follow the glowing path down into the valley, and the source of the slow, pulsing glow reveals itself gradually, gently, the way all good surprises do here. It is enormous. A creature curled loosely across the whole floor of the valley, shaped something like a whale and something like a cloud. Its great body made of soft, drifting light instead of flesh, rising and falling in slow, steady breaths that you can feel as gentle warmth against your skin from many steps away. You are not afraid. There is nothing in this enormous, breathing shape that asks you to be. Its eyes, when it opens them briefly to look at you, are soft and dark and endlessly patient. Like two small, quiet ponds reflecting a sky full of stars. You walk closer, and the creature shifts, gently, making room, the way something very large and very kind makes room for something very small. Its side, when you rest your hand against it, is warm and soft and faintly glowing, and you feel beneath your palm the slow, steady rhythm of its enormous, gentle heartbeat. You think, your whole chest filling with something warm and wordless. You did not know, until this exact moment, that you had been hoping to find something exactly this large, and exactly this gentle. The creature lowers itself slightly, its great cloud body settling closer to the ground, and you understand, somehow, that it is inviting you to climb onto its back. You do. The surface beneath you is soft and warm, and holds your weight the way a very deep, very trusted cushion holds you. And slowly, gently, the enormous creature begins to rise. Not quickly, just a slow, patient lift, the valley floor drifting away beneath you, the glowing path and the shifting hills growing smaller and softer as you rise higher into the warm, impossible sky of this dream. You lie back against its warm, glowing side, and you look up. The sky here is not one colour. It moves slowly through soft shades, rose fading into lavender, lavender fading into a deep, warm gold, as if the whole sky is simply another creature, breathing its own slow colours the way the whale beneath you breathes its own slow light. Small shapes drift past you as you rise, other creatures of this soft, impossible world, a school of fish made of scattered starlight, moving together in slow, shifting patterns, and further off, something that might be a bird, or might be a slowly unfolding flower, tumbling lazily through the warm air. The great creature beneath you hums, low and warm, a sound you feel more than hear, vibrating gently up through your whole body. You realize, resting here on its broad, glowing back, that you could ask it anything, and somehow it would understand, not through words, but through this same warm, wordless humming. You do not ask anything, you simply rest, and let it carry you, unhurried, through this vast and gentle sky, toward wherever it is patiently taking you next. Below you now, you catch sight of something new drifting past, a small formation of gentle, glowing, jellyfish-like creatures, floating not through water, but through the open air itself, their long, trailing tendrils leaving soft arcs of light behind them as they pass. One drifts close enough to brush gently against your outstretched hand, and where it touches, you feel the faintest warm tingle, like sunlight caught for just a moment on your skin. The great cloud whale beneath you tilts slightly, following the drifting creatures for a while, as though it too finds them worth a moment's gentle curiosity, and you watch them spiral slowly upward together, their soft glow blending with the warm, shifting colours of the endless sky. Further into the sky, you pass through a wide band of soft, warm mist, and for a moment everything around you glows the same gentle rose, the cloud whale's outline softening into little more than warmth and slow movement. You close your eyes briefly within the mist, simply feeling its warmth against your skin, and when you open them again, you have drifted through entirely, the sky opening once more into wide, clear colour, the honeyed clouds of the floating library glowing softly ahead. The great creature carries you gently through the warm sky, And ahead, something new comes slowly into view, drifting among soft clouds the colour of pale honey. A library not built on ground, but floating freely, its shelves curving in slow, impossible spirals through the open air. Books drifting gently between them like leaves caught in a very calm, very patient current. The whale cloud creature slows and lowers itself gently beside the floating shelves. And you understand this is where it means to leave you a while. You slide from its warm back onto a wide, softly glowing platform, and you rest your hand once more against its side in thanks. It hums, low and warm, and drifts a little further off to rest among the honeyed clouds, patient, waiting. You turn toward the shelves. A single book drifts close to you, its cover a deep, warm blue, and you reach out and take it gently from the air. You open it. The pages are blank, at first. Then, slowly, words begin to write themselves across the page in soft, glowing ink, and you realize, delighted, that this book is writing itself just for you, right now, in this exact moment. Oh, you think, leaning closer. The words describe a small house by a lake you have never visited, where the water is always warm, and someone is always glad when you arrive. As you read, the words fade gently from the page behind you, as if the story only ever needs to exist in this one present moment. You close the book and drift to another shelf. Here, the books hum softly instead of sitting silent, each one holding a different quiet tune, and you let your fingers trail along their spines, each touch releasing a small, warm note into the air around you. Deeper among the shelves, you find a small reading nook, a soft chair made of the same warm, glowing material as the platform, shaped as if it has been waiting exactly for you. You sit, the chair holds you gently, and around you, the books continue their slow, drifting orbit, pages occasionally flickering open on their own, releasing small, soft images into the air. A garden here, a quiet shoreline there, each one dissolving softly after a moment, like breath on a cold morning. One image lingers longer than the rest. A field of tall grass at golden hour, not unlike the one you first arrived in, and for a moment you feel a warm thread connecting every strange, wonderful place you have visited tonight, as if this whole dream is one continuous story, gently writing itself around you exactly as you need it. A soft chime sounds somewhere among the shelves, warm and low, and you look up to see your patient cloud whale drifting closer once more, its great eyes half closed, waiting. You rise from the glowing chair, and the book you first opened drifts gently back onto its shelf on its own, its pages settling back into quiet blankness, ready for whoever finds it next. You climb once more onto the creature's warm, broad back, and slowly, gently, it lifts away from the floating library, carrying you onward into the soft, shifting sky. Near the reading nook, you notice a very old, very small book resting alone on its own tiny shelf, its cover worn soft, as if countless gentle hands have held it before yours. You lift it carefully and open it. Unlike the others, this one is not blank. Its pages hold soft, faded illustrations of a field and a bell tree, and a great, cloud-shaped creature, drawn in the same warm, gentle style as everything you have found tonight. "Oh," you whisper, turning the pages slowly. It seems, impossibly, to be telling the very story you are living right now, though the pages end well before your journey does. The final illustration simply showing an open, waiting sky. You close it gently and return it to its small shelf. The creature carries you onward, and ahead, the sky opens onto something that makes you laugh out loud in delighted surprise. A waterfall flowing gently upward, its water pale silver and faintly glowing, rises in slow, unhurried streams from a wide pool far below, climbing toward a floating island somewhere above, as if gravity itself has decided, just here, just for tonight, to be gentle and optional rather than strict. The whale cloud creature drifts closer and hovers beside the rising water, and you reach out one hand to let the silver stream pass through your fingers. It is warm and weightless, and it tickles pleasantly against your skin as it climbs past, each droplet catching soft light before continuing its slow journey upward. Oh, you think, watching it rise, you slide gently from the creature's back, and you find, delighted, that you do not fall. You simply drift, weightless, beside the rising water, your whole body held in the same gentle, upward patience as the silver stream around you. You let yourself rise with it. Slowly, unhurried, the pool below shrinking gently beneath you, the floating island above growing closer, and around you, small droplets of the rising water catch the light like a slow, climbing constellation. You reach the floating island. It is small and round, covered in soft, pale moss, and at its center, the rising water gathers into a wide, still pool before spilling gently back over the far edge, beginning its slow, patient fall all over again. You settle onto the soft moss at the island's edge, and you look out. Below you, the world spreads out in slow, shifting colors. The honeyed clouds of the library, the rolling hills of the Beltree field, all of it connected by the same warm, impossible sky. You dip your fingers into the still, gathering pool at the island's center. The water ripples outward in slow, glowing rings, and where the ripples reach the pool's edge, tiny motes of light rise gently into the air, drifting upward like unhurried fireflies. You lie back fully onto the soft moss. Above you, the sky continues its slow shift through warm colors, and the gentle sound of water, endlessly rising and endlessly falling, fills the quiet air around you, patient and soothing, and entirely without hurry. Your cloud whale drifts close once more, settling gently beside the small island, its great eyes finding yours. You do not need words to understand it is time to continue on. You rise from the moss, weightless still, and drift back onto its warm, waiting back, and together you leave the rising waterfall behind, its soft, endless climb continuing on without you. Before you leave the small floating island entirely, you notice a narrow, winding stair carved gently into its far side, leading down beneath the moss to somewhere you cannot quite see. Curious, you follow it a little way. Beneath the island's soft surface, you find a small, hollow chamber, its walls lined with the same pale, glowing moss, and at its center, a single, perfectly still pool reflects nothing at all except deep, warm darkness scattered with tiny points of light, like holding a small piece of the whole night sky cupped gently underground. You kneel beside it and touch the surface lightly. It ripples in slow, silent circles, and for a moment you feel entirely, peacefully alone in the very best way, tucked into this small, secret hollow at the heart of a floating island in an upside-down waterfall. You do not stay long, but you carry the quiet of that small chamber back up the winding stair with you, a settled, private kind of calm folded gently into everything else you are feeling tonight. As you finally rise from the small island, weightless still, you notice one last thing drifting near the base of the upward waterfall, a scattering of tiny, glowing seeds, each one rising slowly through the silver water alongside you. One brushes gently against your palm, and you close your fingers around it for a moment before letting it continue its own slow, patient climb, wondering, briefly and warmly, what soft, impossible thing it might become once it finally reaches wherever it is going. The creature carries you onward, and slowly, a new shape rises ahead through the soft evening clouds. A city, but not built from stone, or wood, or glass. Built entirely from paper, warm and pale gold, its towers folded into tall, delicate spirals, its bridges creased into gentle arcs. The whole skyline shifting, very slowly, very quietly, as unseen folds somewhere refold themselves into new and equally beautiful shapes. You drift down toward it, and the cloud whale lowers you gently onto a wide, folded plaza at the city's heart. The paper ground beneath your feet is soft and warm, and it gives very slightly with each step, like walking across a page that has decided kindly to hold your weight. Small figures move through the folded streets around you, shaped roughly like people, though made entirely of paper themselves, their edges soft and rounded, their movements slow and graceful, like origami brought gently to life. One of them approaches you, its paper face holding no expression you can quite name, and yet somehow unmistakably warm. It extends one folded hand, and in its palm rests a small, blank square of paper. You take it. The moment it touches your fingers, it begins, slowly, to fold itself, corner meeting corner, edge meeting edge, and you watch, delighted, as it becomes, gently, a small paper bird. You breathe, as it lifts from your palm on its own, and circles you once, softly, before settling onto your shoulder. Light as a held breath, the paper figure gestures gently, inviting you deeper into the city, and you follow, your small paper bird still resting warm against your shoulder. On, around you, the towers continue their slow, silent refolding. A spiral tower here, easing itself into a gentle dome. A folded bridge there, stretching a little longer to meet a street that has just as quietly moved a little closer. Nothing here ever seems to break, or tear, or truly change into something unrecognizable. It simply, endlessly, becomes a new, equally gentle version of itself, the way a good dream keeps finding new shapes for the same warm feeling. You reach a wide, folded courtyard at the city's center, where dozens of the paper figures have gathered, moving together in a slow, unhurried dance, their soft edges catching the warm evening light. You find yourself drawn into their gentle circle, your feet finding the rhythm easily, though you could not say exactly what the rhythm is. Perhaps it is simply the rhythm of this whole soft, impossible night, the same patient pulse that beats beneath the bell tree, and the breathing whale, and the endlessly rising water. Your small paper bird lifts from your shoulder and joins a handful of others circling gently overhead, and you dance a while longer among the folded, gentle people of this quiet paper city, before your patient whale cloud creature settles once more at the courtyard's edge, waiting. Near the edge of the folded courtyard, you spot a small paper fountain, its water rendered entirely in delicate, layered folds that somehow still seem to flow, catching the warm light in soft, crinkled ripples. You rest your hand near it, and though it is only paper, you feel a faint warmth rising from it, as if even the idea of flowing water here carries some of its comfort. One of the folded paper people settles beside you for a quiet moment, and together you simply watch its slow, impossible ripples, before it gives a small, gentle bow and continues on its way. You climb once more onto the creature's warm back, your small paper bird settling contentedly into the fold of your arms, and slowly you leave the gentle paper city behind. Below you now, a new landscape opens, wide and soft and impossibly colourful. A garden, but vast, stretching farther than any garden should reasonably stretch, filled with flowers that hum, each one holding its own small, warm note, so that the whole garden together sounds like a lullaby with no beginning and no particular end. The creature lowers you gently among the humming blooms, and you step down onto soft, cool grass threaded through with flowers taller than your waist, their petals 100 soft, impossible shades. Butterflies drift between them, though calling them butterflies feels almost too simple, because their wings are made of the same soft light as the small motes that rose from the upward waterfall. And wherever they land, the flower beneath them hums a little brighter for a moment before settling back into its gentle note. You walk slowly among the humming blooms, letting your fingers trail across their petals, each touch adding your own small note to the garden's endless, overlapping lullaby. You think, closing your eyes for a moment, simply listening. You have never heard anything quite like this, and yet somehow it feels entirely familiar, like a song you knew perfectly once, long ago, and are only now remembering, note by gentle note. You find a small clearing at the garden's heart, where the humming flowers grow in a wide, gentle circle, and at its centre, soft moss cushions the ground like a bed made just for resting a while. You lie down among them. The humming surrounds you completely now, warm and layered and endlessly patient, and the light-winged butterflies drift lower, settling here and there across the flowers around you, their glow pulsing gently in time with the garden's slow, shared song. Your small paper bird settles onto your chest, and you feel its light, gentle weight rise and fall with your own slow breathing. You stay a long while in this soft, humming circle, your whole body sinking a little deeper into the moss with every note, and you realize, resting here, that every strange and wonderful thing you have found tonight has carried the same quiet gift, the gentle reminder that delight and rest were never truly opposites at all. Eventually, your patient cloud whale hums softly from beyond the flowers, low and warm, and you rise slowly from the moss, the garden's lullaby following you gently as you make your way back toward it, your small paper bird still resting content in your open palm. Near the edge of the humming clearing, you notice a single flower taller than all the rest. Its petals are deep, warm indigo, and instead of humming a single note like the others, it seems to hold, softly, fragments of every tune the whole garden is singing at once. You lean close to it, and for just a moment you hear, woven gently into its layered hum, the faint chiming of the bell tree, and beneath that, the low, warm breathing of the cloud whale, as though this one tall flower is quietly keeping track of every gentle sound this whole dream has offered you tonight. You touch one of its petals, and it releases a single, clear note that seems to hang in the air a little longer than the rest. And somewhere nearby, every other flower in the clearing softens its own hum for just a moment, as if listening to the whale cloud creature lifts you gently from the humming garden and carries you higher this time, up through soft layers of honeyed cloud, toward something that glimmers faintly above. A market, floating among the highest clouds, its stalls built from twisted silver light, strung between them with countless small lanterns that are not quite lanterns at all, but captured pieces of starlight, softly pulsing. The creature settles you gently at the market's edge and drifts a little way off to rest, patient as always, while you step forward among the glowing stalls. The vendors here are made of the same soft starlight as their wares, tall and slender, their forms shifting gently like held breath. And though none of them speak in any language you could name, you understand them anyway. The way you understand everything in this soft, impossible place. One stall holds small glass jars, each filled with a slow, swirling colour, and when you lift one and hold it close, you hear, faintly, the specific sound of a memory you cannot quite place. Rain on a childhood window, perhaps, or laughter from a room down the hall. Oh, you whisper, setting it down gently, moved more than you expected to be. Another stall offers small, folded packets that, when opened, release the exact scent of a warm afternoon you once loved and mostly forgot, and you breathe it in slowly, eyes closing, letting it settle warmly into your chest. You wander further among the stalls, your small paper bird still resting in your palm, occasionally lifting to circle a particularly bright lantern before settling again, curious, delighted, entirely at home in this floating market at the edge of the sky. At the very centre of the market, you find the widest stall of all, tended by a vendor taller and gentler than the rest, its light a deep, warm gold instead of silver. Before it rests a single, enormous jar, and inside, slowly turning, you can see something that looks almost like the whole night sky folded carefully into glass. Stars and soft clouds, and the faint suggestion of every world you have visited tonight, all held together in one warm, swirling piece. The vendor gestures gently, and you understand, somehow, that this is not for taking. It is simply for looking, for the particular pleasure of seeing an entire wondrous night gathered into something you could almost hold. You stand before it a long while, watching the slow, warm turning, and you feel, somewhere deep in your chest, a quiet kind of gratitude that has no need of words. Eventually, you step back from the stall, and the gentle vendor inclines its glowing head, a soft, wordless goodbye. Your cloud whale drifts close once more, and you climb onto its warm, waiting back, the floating market's countless small lanterns glowing softly below as you rise once more into the open, star-scattered sky. Near the edge of the sky market, a small, quiet stall catches your eye, tended by the smallest vendor you have seen yet, barely taller than your own knee, its light a gentle, flickering white. Before it rest rows of tiny, folded paper cranes, not unlike your own small companion, each one glowing faintly from within. You realize, delighted, that this must be where your own paper bird first began its journey, somewhere among these same small, patient shelves. The tiny vendor looks up at you, and then at the bird resting on your shoulder, and something in its small, flickering light seems to brighten with quiet recognition. You give a small, grateful nod, and it dips its head in return, pleased, before returning to its careful, endless folding. One last stall catches your eye before you leave, tucked into a quiet corner, offering nothing but small, soft pillows shaped like clouds, each one glowing faintly warm. The gentle vendor there offers you one without a word, and you take it, tucking it beneath your arm alongside the small blanket from the little house, your arms now gently full of soft, warm gifts from a night that has given you far more than you ever thought to ask for. The creature carries you onward once more, and this time the world below seems to shimmer with something even more playful than before, as if it has been saving its very best surprise for last. Lights rise to meet you, hundreds of them, scattered across a wide, rolling field, each one a different soft colour, and as you drift lower, you realize delighted that you have found something like a carnival, though built entirely from impossible, wonderful things. A carousel turns slowly at its center, though instead of painted horses, its riders are gentle, glowing creatures you have no name for. Each one a soft blend of animal and cloud and quiet color, rising and falling in slow, unhurried circles to a melody that seems to come from everywhere at once. The creature lowers you gently onto the soft grass at the carnival's edge and settles nearby to rest. And you step forward, your small paper bird lifting from your palm to circle once, curious, before settling onto your shoulder again. Nile, oh, you breathe, taking it all in. Nile. A tent nearby glows from within with shifting colors, and when you peek inside, you find it is filled, impossibly, with more space than the tent could ever contain from the outside. A whole soft, starlit room folded neatly into canvas. Nearby, a small stool offers bubbles that, when you blow them, do not pop, but instead drift upward and slowly become something else entirely. A bubble becoming a small bird, another becoming a soft, floating flower, each transformation gentle and unhurried and utterly without explanation. You wander deeper into the carnival, past a small booth where a gentle, glowing figure offers you a warm drink in a cup that changes color with every sip, each new color bringing a different, soft, pleasant taste. Honey, then berries, then something like warm bread fresh from an oven you have never seen. Nile. You climb onto the slow, turning carousel, settling onto the back of a creature that is mostly cloud and partly deer. Its glowing antlers hung with tiny, chiming bells not unlike the ones from the very first tree you found tonight. The carousel turns, slow and gentle, rising and falling in soft, patient waves, and around you the whole bright, impossible carnival drifts past again and again, each pass revealing some small new detail you missed the time before. You laugh, quietly, utterly delighted, the particular delight of a mind that has been given full permission, just for tonight, to imagine anything at all, and have it turn out warm and safe and wonderfully strange. Nile. Above you, fireworks begin to bloom across the sky, though they make no sound, and instead of fading, each burst slowly drifts downward as soft, glowing petals, settling gently over the whole carnival like a warm, colourful snow. Nile. You reach up and catch one in your open palm. It is warm and weightless, and it dissolves slowly into a small puddle of soft light before disappearing entirely, leaving behind only the faint, warm memory of having held it at all. Near the carnival's far edge, you find a small, quiet tent set apart from the brighter attractions, its entrance draped with soft, slowly shifting curtains of light. Nile. Inside, you find nothing but soft cushions scattered across the ground, and a gentle, glowing ceiling that mimics, slowly, the shifting colours of every sky you saw tonight. Rose folding into lavender, lavender into gold. Nile. You sit a while in this quiet tent, letting the bright sounds of the carnival soften outside, and you realize this small, calm space was tucked here on purpose, a gentle reminder that even beyond the carnival's glowing edge, you notice something quieter waiting, a wide, still lake, its surface catching every soft light around it, without a single ripple to disturb the reflection. Your cloud whale drifts you gently toward it, and lowers you onto a small, smooth stone shore at the water's edge. You kneel and look down into the lake, and what looks back is not quite your own reflection. It is you, certainly, but standing in a version of the field you first arrived in, one where the sky above is a shade of soft rose you have not yet seen tonight, and where 3 moons, small and gentle, hang low over hills you almost recognize. Oh, you breathe, leaning closer. The reflected you smiles, the same slow, delighted smile you can feel on your own face, and lifts one hand in a small, warm wave. You wave back, and the water ripples gently, just once, and when it stills again, the reflected world has changed slightly. The 3 moons rearranged, the hills a little taller, as if the lake is simply showing you one of countless equally lovely versions of tonight, each one true in its own soft way. You dip one finger into the water. It is warm, and where your finger touches, tiny rings of soft light spread outward. And for just a moment, you feel, rather than see, every other version of yourself who might be kneeling at every other edge of this endless, gentle lake. All of you equally curious, equally delighted, equally safe. You sit back on the smooth stones and simply watch the lake for a while, its surface shifting slowly between countless gentle reflections, a version of the paper city where the towers are silver instead of gold, a version of the humming garden where the flowers hum a slightly different, equally soothing tune. Your small paper bird hops down from your shoulder and settles at the water's edge beside you, tilting its folded head at its own reflection, which tilts back in perfect, gentle mirror. You realize, watching the lake's slow, endless shifting, that there is no need to choose between these countless gentle versions of tonight. You are not required to decide which reflection is truest. They are all simply soft variations of the same warm feeling, the way a single lullaby can be hummed 100 slightly different ways and still, every time, mean the same thing. A fish made of pale light rises briefly near the shore, its scales scattering small reflections across the surface before it dips back beneath. And the ripples it leaves behind carry, for just a moment, the faint sound of the bell trees chiming, as though every world tonight is quietly, gently connected beneath the surface of this one still lake. You stay a long while at the water's edge, unhurried, simply being here, and when at last you rise, your cloud whale is already drifting close, patient as ever, ready to carry you onward once more. Your cloud whale carries you a little further still, low over the reflecting lake, and settles you gently at the edge of a small orchard you had not noticed before, its trees heavy with fruit that glows softly from within, each one holding, somehow, a different captured moment of sunset. Ha! You reach up and take one gently from its branch. It is warm and weightless in your palm, and when you look closely, you can see, held inside its soft, glowing skin, the exact orange and rose of some evening sky you cannot quite place but somehow deeply trust. Beyond the orchard, a small house waits, round and low, its walls the same warm wood gold as the bell tree far behind you. Smoke curling gently from a chimney, though the night is not cold at all. The door stands open, and you step inside. The room is small and impossibly cozy, a low fire crackling in a wide hearth, soft cushions scattered across a floor the colour of warm honey. But when you glance away for just a moment and look back, you notice the room has changed, gently, the fireplace now on a different wall, a window where there was none before, as though the house has quietly rearranged itself into exactly what you needed without you ever asking. Oh, you laugh softly, settling onto one of the cushions near the fire. The house seems to hum with quiet satisfaction at your laughter, and a small table beside you holds, now, a warm cup of something sweet that was not there a moment ago, steam curling gently upward. You lift the warm cup and take a slow sip. It tastes like the fruit from the orchard outside. Sunset and warmth folded together into something sweet and impossibly comforting, and you feel it settle into your chest the way only the kindest, most familiar things can. The fire pops gently, and you glance up to find the room has shifted again, so softly you almost missed it. A low shelf now holding a handful of small, familiar objects, not quite things you remember owning, but things that feel, somehow, exactly like they should belong to you. Your small paper bird hops down from your shoulder and settles beside the fire, tucking its folded wings close, utterly at ease. You sink deeper into the soft cushions, the warm cup cradled in both hands, and you let this small, endlessly accommodating household you a while, asking nothing of you, simply continuing, gently, to become whatever this particular quiet moment needs it to be. Outside the round window, you can see your patient cloud whale resting in the orchard, its great eyes closed, its enormous body rising and falling in slow, contented breaths beneath the sunset fruit trees. You stay a long while in the little house's warm, shifting comfort, finishing your sweet drink slowly, before you finally rise and step back out into the soft orchard night, ready to continue on. Just before you step back outside, the house shifts one final time, and a small, soft blanket appears folded neatly on the cushion where you sat, as if the house wanted to send something along with you. You do not need it tonight, but you take it anyway, tucking it gently under one arm, touched by the small, thoughtful gesture, and the house seems to settle, pleased, as you step back out into the warm orchard air. Eventually, the carousel slows, and you slide gently from the cloud deer's back, the last of the soft, silent fireworks settling around you like a warm, final farewell. Your patient cloud whale waits at the carnival's edge, its great eyes soft and half closed, and you understand, gently, that it is time to begin the slow journey home. You climb once more onto its warm, broad back, your small paper bird settling contentedly against your chest, and slowly, unhurried, you rise together above the glowing carnival, its countless soft lights shrinking gently below into one warm, scattered glow. You drift back the way you came, though nothing here ever quite repeats itself exactly. Far below, you catch a last glimpse of the floating starlight market, its lantern still glowing patient and warm. Further on, the humming garden passes beneath you, its endless lullaby rising faintly on the warm air. And beyond that, the gentle paper city, its towers still slowly, quietly refolding themselves into new shapes for whoever visits next. The upward waterfall catches the last soft light as you pass, its silver water still patiently climbing, and the floating library drifts somewhere among honeyed clouds, its shelves still turning slowly, its books still waiting to write themselves for the next curious visitor. At last, the wide field comes back into view, its colour-shifting grass glowing soft and warm in what might be the last light of evening, or the first light of something gentler still. The bell tree stands exactly where you left it, chiming its same soft, overlapping melody, and your cloud whale lowers you gently back onto the grass beside it, its enormous, warm body settling down to rest alongside you. You slide from its warm side and settle instead into the colour-shifting grass, leaning back against the great, gentle creature's flank. Your small paper bird settles onto your chest once more, folding its wings, content, and above you, the bell tree's small glowing lights continue their soft, patient chiming, each note drifting down like something between sound and gentle rain. You feel, resting here, every strange and wonderful place you visited tonight settle warmly into you, the way good memories always do, not as separate moments, but as one continuous, warm feeling, the particular feeling of having been delighted again and again by a world that only ever wanted to surprise you gently. The cloud whale beside you hums low and warm, its great side rising and falling slowly beneath your shoulder, and you match your own breath to its patient rhythm, the way you have all night, without ever quite noticing when you began. Your eyes grow heavy. The grass beneath you glows a little softer now, settling toward deep, warm gold, and the bell tree's chiming grows a little slower, a little further apart, as if the whole field itself is beginning, gently, to rest on the way, You glimpse the still, reflecting lake one final time, its surface holding, for just a moment, a soft image of the little house among its sunset orchard, smoke still curling gently from its chimney, waiting patiently for its next quiet visitor. You smile, watching it fade gently from the water's surface as you drift onward, and you feel, once more, that warm, connecting thread running beneath every single place you found tonight. Each one different, each one gentle, each one somehow part of the very same soft dream. Somewhere beyond the warm field, soft rain begins to fall. You did not notice it start. It simply arrived, gently, the way rain always seems to know exactly when a wondrous night is finally ready to rest. It falls in slow, warm drops through the honeyed sky, and where each drop lands in the colour-shifting grass, a tiny ring of soft light blooms and fades, one more small, gentle wonder among the countless you found tonight. The bell tree's chiming softens further, its notes now barely more than a whisper, blending gently with the steady, patient sound of the falling rain. Your breathing has slowed to match the great, warm creature beside you, long, even, complete. Your small paper bird rests still and content against your chest, its light dimmed to the softest possible glow, and around you, this whole strange and gentle field settles slowly into sleep alongside you. The grass dimming, the bells quieting, the great cloud whales breathing growing longer and slower with every passing moment. Rest now, dreamer. Every world you visited tonight is still out there, somewhere, patient and glowing, waiting for the next time your mind wanders this way again. The bell tree will still be chiming, the library will still be writing new stories, the carnival will still be lit. For now there is only this, the warm grass, the gentle rain, the great, slow heartbeat of the creature holding you. Rest, just rest, and let the rain carry the rest of the night for you, gently, the way every soft, impossible wonder tonight has carried you, one delighted moment at a time. You think, once more, before sleep takes you fully, of the small paper bird resting warm against your chest. You think of the great, gentle whale, its slow breathing carrying you through an entire night of wonders. You think of the little house with its shifting, accommodating rooms, and the tall indigo flower holding every soft sound of the garden inside itself. Each memory settles gently into place, one more warm light joining all the others, until the whole night rests, complete and quiet, somewhere safe inside your chest.